All right, welcome back for another CBSI Hot 10 list show. We're doing this actually Friday morning as I enjoy my coffee and contemplation. Yes, Marco, people do drink out of coffee mugs in the morning when they drink their coffee. That said, hopefully you're enjoying everything here on the channel. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. Yes, we hit 3,000 subscribers, and we will be announcing some giveaways very soon, so make sure you keep your eye on the channel across all of the shows. So with that all said, if you want to see this week's list, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back.
Notable sales.
All right, our first book, Black Cat Mystery 37.
Yeah, this is a fantastic sale. This is Black Cat Mystery 37 from 1952. Warren Kremer, who created Richie Rich and Hot Stuff, Little Devil from all that Harvey work, did the cover on this. It sold for $12,000. This is the lone and highest graded copy. This 9.6 kind of sits alone because the next closest graded copy is a 9.0.
9.6. 9.0 is still high. Jesus.
It's a file copy too. So
it's a file copy, but it's gorgeous. So it is a unicorn, as we say in the business. So
that's huge.
I like that cover too.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous cover. Well, Creek Code Horror stuff is still doing well. There's still a strong market for it, especially at the top end of the market. So,
yeah. Speaking of good cover, our other notable sale is all based on cover work alone, and that is our friend J. Scott Campbell. Yes, another
Black Cat.
Another Black Cat. Bookending
I was going to make a joke, but I'm not.
Oh, but this is a weird one. This is a tough one. I don't think it's not easily tracked. Like when you have to Google this thing, like it's got to remember it's Amazing Spider-Man Presents Black Cat #1. Like it's such a long title. Just to kind of narrow it down to find it is kind of difficult. But a 9.8 sold this week for $2K, which is up from August where it was only like $1,600. It's hit $2K before. This is not the only time. It's just kind of ups and downs with some of these harder to find variants and these cover purchases alone, because outside of the cover, nobody really cares about the guts of this book. I mean, let's be honest. It's all for the cover and the fact that it's not that easy to find, but still interesting.
It's an ugly cover. It's an ugly cover. It's ugly.
I agree.
It's
people
ugly.
Like J. Scott.
That's true. That's true.
Not my favorite.
It's weird.
It is a little weird. It's not my favorite, but it is, again, it's just one of those things you just want. But at these prices, just gonna look.
Is there story between those pages?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't know what it is.
Sure, it's not good.
No one cares. You can't turn a page when it's in a slab.
Very true. Fair. But we can turn the page and start the list at
number 10.
First
all right,
book.
number 10, Hercules #1, Twilight of God #1. Here, listen, I get it. There's a rumor that there might be a different type of Silver Surfer coming out. It may be a female, and of course, this is one of the books you're going to look at. This is the first appearance of Juno. She's on the cover. She's inside. She hasn't turned into Herald yet. However, it increases. This book has been setting. This is in the 1 through 4 series. It has sold in sets, which has been increasing in price. It has also sold as a single unit. Most sales were 3 to 4 because people got on this real quick. I know there was another call for the other gold version of whatever, but obviously this was the book I think people gravitated to start off with. Highs got up to 22 and 30. That's more recent than the beginning sales. It's nice to see the market going back to an interesting place where it's more predictable. You know, you get a little bit of a good rumor on a slow week, and you see a book start to sell, and you see them start to sell in quantities at $3 or $4 and get up to like the $20, $25 mark, which is for some of us comforting. So
yeah, it's fun. It's fun to
She's right there, by the way, right at his knee, and then she's inside. So just so you know.
Not inside his knee. Inside.
Right.
Inside.
Yeah,
Well, not
this is a
inside
good
either. Not inside the book. She's inside the book.
She's not
Clarify.
scoping out his knee. She's
Yeah.
You know, the first time I saw this cover, I thought it was Hexaba from Starjammers.
Yeah, Starjammers. Yeah, looks a lot like her.
Yeah, this is a good dollar bin digging book. Let's just say that's probably where you're going to find this book, because even shop owners are probably digging for this, because nobody cared about Hercules Twilight of a God before this week. But we'll see where it goes. All right, our next book.
Number 9.
Daredevil.
Yeah, I got the Daredevil Black Armor, the Grassetti, the 1 in 25. It's just a beautiful cover. Beyond that, it's 1 in 25s do what 1 in 25s do. This thing is running a little over ratio, most around 30, but you have some outliers up around 50. I think there was a high of 62 there. So it's just a pretty cover. I thought it was a grand off at first, and then I had to check and see that's Grassetti.
There's a 1 in 100 to this, and it hasn't been selling. Not a lot of them out there. So I think I was like waiting on this book because I actually really like the cover, and the storyline's not terrible. But like
it's not great either.
Well, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's a good starting point. Let's just put
Check
it
out the Back Show for a good review of this.
I do like the cover though, but I'm gonna wait. I think this might have a little bit of fall in it, so I'm gonna wait for it. However, I'm also looking at the 1 in 100s because there wasn't a lot. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of them offered, but the offering prices that they're trying to sell them at right now is it meets the standard, but ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, obviously nobody's buying them, so that's just something else to look out for this book.
Yeah. We'll see where this one goes. But our next one.
Number 8.
Back on the list again. Alien Legion is still selling based off of that news that we're getting this adapted. Not as many as last week. I mean, last week this was pretty high on the list because we had well over 100 sales. Now we got a little bit, half that, but prices are maintaining, if not eking up a tiny bit, as this is becoming more of a $15 to kind of $20 type of book. And then surprisingly, whoever had this graded at a 9.8 decided to cash in for $325 this week. So
I want to get inside that person's head.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah.
Who had this in the wings waiting to go?
Listen, I think we got a comment before about how the person who sold it made a comment on one of our posts.
Yeah,
like
they did. There
Please
was a comment.
Why you grade this? Did you just grade all number ones, or like we just want to think the thought process behind it, because that's pretty. I mean, hey, you hit on it. Good for you. Did you buy it? Did you just see it on a wall? I'm like, hey man, that's a weird 9.8. I'll buy it, because I do that every once in a while. If I see 9.8, it's cheap enough. It's weird. I'll buy it just to buy it. So I really am. I don't know why I did it or she, but good for you, man. Good.
I mean, I think this book's going to just keep lingering a bit because it is perfect dollar bin fodder.
Yep.
They're sitting in there and people are just finding them and then posting them to sell to try to do a quick dollar flip on them. But
because the actual adaptation is going to be ages away for now.
Yeah.
But
a couple more.
Yeah, still fun book to keep looking out for though. As we move on.
Number 7.
Climbing its way off the outside looking in onto the main list.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, number 1. This is still riding the news that a writer was hired by James Gunn. Last week, there was $10 to $15 sales. Now this week is $20 to $25. Slight uptick for price. And, hopefully this does well going forward. It's been on the list a couple of times already, so see where it goes.
What's going to happen when we get like an actual trailer? This is going to be a test, right?
I mean, you just have a writer right now.
Yeah,
I believe they are adapting this story. I believe.
Yes.
So
either way,
that lends more credence to the book,
right,
being useful.
But even if the book wasn't that useful, it does lead us to this. Like, this is going to be our first switch coming out of the pandemic, where we're going to see a book where we got early news on it, writer news on it, then we're going to get trailer news on it, and see like on a major title, we're going to see that conversion and how the book actually shifts.
Don't forget casting
too. Yeah. We'll get that too. So it's going to be an interesting book to follow over the next year.
Yeah,
definitely. And those Bilquis covers are gorgeous. That whole series is pretty.
Yeah. Also a fair point. Moving on.
Number 6.
Back on the list.
Prelude to Deadpool Corpse, number 3. This, much like the last book where we talked about interesting little case studies to see how things are working post-pandemic, this was one of those for Marvel where we had Reynolds post something to the interwebs, and then people took it as an allude to that there's going to be a Deadpool dog in the next movie. We saw a little bit of movement on it. Now we're seeing a little bit more. Now it's up to $40 coming up from, around the $10, $20 range. So we're getting double. There is a 9.6 CGC 9.6 selling from 180. And I know people are going to be like, well, 9.6 is used. Yes, but in the new era, which we're going to consider now, the new era comic book selling, 9.6 have taken huge drops. So anything over like $120, $130 for a 9.6 is like, wow, you took a dollar book and spent $30 on it and you got a 180 out of it. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
especially for a book where it's like, it doesn't, I mean, he took a picture with the fucking dog.
I'm extrapolating that. Like you said, the 9.6. Does that mean this is
the dog had the costume on?
Like, is this a $400 9.8?
Yeah, is this going to be a $400 9.8 now? Is this what we're seeing out of this book because of a picture with a dog? If so,
dump of speculation.
Hey, who cares? I love it. Do it. I mean,
It's fun.
Go ahead.
It's fun.
I'll sell it to somebody for that. So whoever sold this 9.6, good on you. Whoever graded 9.6.
Well, they're probably hoping for the 9.8.
Some people don't pre-screen.
I'm not saying that. Whoever graded this book, anyways. Just kidding. Good for you.
That said, let's go.
Number 5.
Adam Webb.
Amazing Spider-Man 210, back on the list. First appearance of Corbin's girlfriend. Got 50 plus more sales. It's up from 40 to about 75 to 80. It's still riding the wave from the Madam Web trailer, even though this is not the Madam Web that's featured in the trailer. I don't get it. But
same character. Same character.
They just de-aged her.
Yeah. They de-aged all the characters. It looks like.
Well, yeah. But also, those are very fine copies. Most of these are like mid-grade. They're not like near mid.
Not the top end.
Selling.
Nope.
And it's one of the few things that's out there that's tangible. There is a trailer for it. Now, everything else is weird speculation and rumor and maybe this and maybe that. This is actually something tangible. So I can imagine holding on a little longer.
But as we talked about the other two books too, to see where they go over the next year or whatever, and that's setting the normal trends, the normal set trends to pre-pandemic. This is too, and this is actually good news. Like these last 3 books making on the top 10, we didn't purposely put them there, but like if you look at the story they're telling right now for the marketplace, like it's good. Like I mean, we're not getting scratch off lottery tickets anymore, but like. There's a little bit of sense and stabilization in the market. So
I think with the strikes ending too, there was a bit of pent up energy for speculation and stuff like that as well. So,
let's see how it goes further.
I think the recent things though is there's still potential for spikes when movies come out. Remember, like Blue Beetle, like there was still hits when the movies actually were released. Like it wasn't, all just looking ahead. Like when some of these things actually hit. Books started to sell. I mean, even the Marvels moved a couple of books, which is surprising.
That's the one thing that I hope sticks that didn't stick pre-pandemic, right? As soon as we got the day the movie hit, you bet if you have the book, you own that book. You know what I mean? Like you own it at that
point. Put it back in the box. You missed.
Yeah, right. Like at that point, you might as well take that listing off of eBay. But here, like hopefully, we'll get to see a little bit of that add-on. So,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Oh, my boy Nakayama. I like it.
DNA. Yeah, Harley Quinn, black, white, and redder. Number 5, the 125 Nakayama. It's doing well. Like all these Harley books, it's averaging nicely above ratio, 50 to 75. At a high of 90. People love these Harley books, and the later these things run and have ratios, the harder it is to kind of get them. As it goes, everyone loads onto the number 1s, and then as the series runs, people forget about them.
I forgot about this. I like collecting Nakayama, and I missed this one, and I'm
I loved the open order. The A cover, the Takeda, the lady that does Monstrous.
Yes,
it was a beautiful cover. But like I said, People love their cover buys on Harley, and there are diehard Harley collectors and diehard Nakayama collectors. So there's your market.
All right, let's see what our top 3 has to offer this week.
Number 3.
Jessica Carpenter.
Yeah.
Secret Wars
Captain America
number
takes a
7.
crap.
Wow. It's got to be the worst cover ever. First appearance of Julia Carpenter. It's still riding that wave of that trailer, taking a big boost of 60 sales. Rolls are now hitting 30. It's the first appearance and her first appearance as Spider-Woman, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got everything you need for her.
And a cover.
Yeah, and she's right there, right behind Cap.
Just
AOA's
sound-
favorite.
Triple play.
Don't push too hard, you'll get hemorrhoids. That's what she's whispering in Cap's ear there.
He's taking the ultimate juice right now.
Yeah.
No, but off of those trailer and all those spider characters, this
Mhm.
one is gaining momentum, it
Yeah.
seems, off of the others. Like there's more sales this week, and the
Well,
price
more
is
than the
inching
others,
up
yeah.
a little bit.
But think about every character that was shown in that trailer who probably has the best tangent for future work. And it's more than likely Sydney Sweeney and that Jessica Drew character.
Yeah, or Ezekiel, either one.
Yeah. Well, also remember her character
Harry
that she's
Knuckles.
playing also has a longer history in the comics, so there's more
Yeah,
material for them to mine if they want to spin her off and do her own thing, possibly. But with that said,
Carpenter's a decent character, decent Spider-Woman.
Number 2.
he's back.
All right, number 2. So we saw number 1 at number 10. Decent amount of sales of it, steadily growing. This is the actual first appearance of Juno as the Herald. Since the rumors were that it was going to be, there was going to be a female Silver Surfer. That's just the headline. That
Mhm.
means Herald when you put the inside in, because it's what Silver Surfer was a Herald for Galactus. This is the first time you see her as a Herald. Obviously, it was a cheap $4 book. Well, it was a little bit cheaper than that too in some
Yeah.
cases. Top to $40 books. Decently steady sales. Definitely a lot of people were going through and picking out, as one was in there because people were selling the runs. You saw a lot of those runs selling really quickly, 1 through 4 very cheaply. Now you're seeing 4 just get picked out and people identifying it. By the end of the week, or probably by next week, when you start hearing more and more about it and people get around to it, you're going to see more of the 4 selling by yourself. Listen, her first appearance is number 1. Her first appearance as the Herald is number, is 4, right? It's 2 different. It's the same character. I get it. I know some people are going to complain about this. This isn't something rare. You see it a lot of times with Marvel. You've seen it with other characters too, where you get the actual normie character and then their actual converted, mutated, whatever character, and better cover picture, selling better. This is the rumor of the thing that's going to show up. Once again, I'm saying this is the rumor, and it's not even like she wasn't rumored to show up. It's just a rumor that there's going to be a female Herald. That is the rumor. There's going to be a female Herald. Is it true? Who knows?
And
Who
people are
cares?
running down the list of all possibilities.
Yep. But this is it. Like, this is the one that was kind of taking off. I know we've gotten a lot of questions about which book we thought it was. This was the character we thought was going to be the one that people were going after when it came to it. I don't know if we thought 4 was going to be doing this much better than 1, but that's what the market determines. So that's what you got.
We'll
Pete
see.
hates this book, by the way. Pete hates this book.
I don't hate this book. I just think Frankie Ray makes more sense as the Herald
Hates
of
this book.
Galactus. That's all.
Hate it.
Just from a storyline perspective. But we'll get into that once we get more info on the actual movie. So let's get into our actual top book of the week.
And our number 1.
Also on last week's Outside Looking In, because the news dropped as we were getting the list together. I mean, it was last Friday when this kind of came about, that
Kirkman couldn't
Robert
keep his
Kirkman
trap
decided to
shut.
drop all the news for Marvel on his own, that Stephen Yeun was going to be gearing up as the Sentinel. Rumored forever. It was an old rumor, wasn't new information, but that weird confirmation got this book selling again. I almost put both covers, because this is the A cover, the black cover that most people are familiar with. There's about 30 sales of this one. This one actually seems to be selling the best out of the group, but the B cover here
I like the B cover.
I think the
is also, I found this one too
I love
in a
the B
box.
cover.
Got rid of it way too early. A lot of people list this as a 1 in 50. This is not a 1 in 50, from what I can tell. It was just a variant. So
Yeah.
it's a variant cover. But both of them are all selling good. There's also a San Diego one, an exclusive that you can keep an eye out for. But that one's actually trailing behind both of these, which is kind of odd. But Raws, we're like $50 last week. They're hitting as high as $100 depending on grade. And yeah, let's see what happens with this one.
We'll see. We'll see if any of it happens because
Marvel hasn't confirmed it yet.
Yeah,
Marvel confirmed it too.
Well, neither has the actor that Kirkman talked about.
Well, I'm sure he's probably under certain restrictions where he's.
Well, if he was, he broke those because of those. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to go on there. We'll see what happens. I mean, you got to take it with a grain of salt. It is Kirkman talking about an actor who used to play in a TV show that he kind of produced, and well,
they still
telephone.
They're still going.
Either way, it appears we're getting the Century in a Thunderbolts movie. So
maybe,
maybe.
Yeah. I don't like the casting. I cheered for Glenn to die. And Walking Dead. What? I can stand Glenn.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
Who you? Okay. This has gone too far. This is top 10 list. Not a Brucifer hating on people for no reason list.
Gone a little blue on a Friday.
You should have saw me celebrating when Carl died.
Yeah.
Well,
I think everybody did. Yeah, I think everybody.
Glenn was likable.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, like a likable dude.
All right, that's enough. This is the top 10 list. All right, here's number one.
Our list for this week. Make sure you guys hang out and stick around for the Get Off My Lawn Boys starting up live right after this.
Maybe they'll talk about Brucifer's problems with characters then.
We'll be doing some giveaways tonight too in honor of the 3,000 subs. So
hey,
for Rennavision.
So nice.
Give some books away, have some fun, and just relax and bullshit with the boys.
Sounds good. All right. We'll see you guys all later.
Good night.